Senator Karen Nyamu.
Mr. Speaker, with all due respect, this is a joke and a dangerous one, Mr. Speaker. Where does the team of the County Assembly of Isiolo get the audacity to walk into this Senate without a shred of evidence that a sitting of a county assembly ever took place? Mr. Speaker, this is not a WhatsApp group. This is a constitutional institution. Where is the Hansard? Where is the attendance record? And I want to be very clear. There was no sitting, and therefore there was no impeachment, Mr. Speaker. And with those very few remarks, I support.
Senator Professor Tomo Jenda.
Mr. Speaker, the jurisprudential contours of impeachment are embedded both in procedure and in substance, and now well settled, Mr. Speaker, in the case of Martin Nyaga Wambora and County Assembly of Embu. I took part in the case. The case of Mohammed Ali Mahmoud and County Assembly Wajir, Mr. Speaker, again I took part in the case and we got the governor back to office because there was a court order. And lastly, Kawera Mangaza and the County Assembly of Meru, and the recent case, Mr. Speaker, of Onyango Olo versus County Assembly of Kisumu. Mr. Speaker, the question as to whether there was a sitting is answered by the documents filed before the Senate. The affidavit of Salad Boru Guracha speaks to whether or not there was a sitting, and it is emphatic, Mr. Speaker, that there was no sitting. The second affidavit that we have, Mr. Speaker, on record is by Habiba Galgalo Jirma, who is the Chief Finance Officer and who also confirms that there was no sitting. The third affidavit is by the Honorable Abinur D. Mojilo, who is an elected member of Kina Ward and who confirms that there was no sitting. The next affidavit is by Honorable Diba Brushad Ali, who is the duly elected County Assembly of Isiolo member for Garbatula Ward, who also confirms that there was no sitting. Lastly, Mr. Speaker, and this is important, Shaban Mzungu, whose affidavit appears at page 46, confirms that on the 18th the assembly was locked. On the 26th, the assembly, the members were able to get in the assembly for 10 minutes and walk out. And that is where the substantive question as to whether there were proper recordings. Unfortunately, Mr. Speaker, this afternoon, I thought that counsel for the county assembly would have responded to the technical issues raised as to whether or not there was a sitting through the law. But unfortunately, Council Mawera fell into the tricks of his submissions by playing two videos that did not have voice recordings and that went, Mr. Speaker, to admitting that there were no proceedings at the assembly. It's very, very unfortunate that this case has to die. Mr. Speaker, I was prepared to proceed to the substance of the hearing.
Senator Seki.
Honorable Speaker, I also wish to support this motion by saying that the County Assembly of Isiolo have not demonstrated to this House that there was a sitting in the County Assembly of Isiolo. Honorable Speaker, some years back, I used to work as a clerk in the county councils by then, before devolution. And the county councils, municipalities, councillors respect also the law, and they used to work or even to deliberate in the chamber. The reason why we have the chamber is there is a reason as to why we have the chamber. It is very difficult, and it will not be proper for the county assembly to come to this house with an allegation that they had a meeting, the assembly sat, there is no video, no audio to this house, and they believe that we'll agree to them. Honorable Speaker, this is not right. However, we may have so many things against the county assembly or the executive of Isiolo through the governor. After looking at the documentation they've presented, or even before, Honorable Speaker, but the procedure and the law must be upheld. Honorable Speaker, I support this motion by saying that we are not going to give it.
Senator Muma.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Mine, Honorable Speaker, I stand to support the motion, albeit reluctantly for this reason. This PO had 2 counts. One is clear in my view, and the other one, the one we are discussing currently, unfortunately, we did not get the instance to interrogate all the evidence. But, Mr. Speaker, it is important for us to affirm that at a time when the rule of law seems to be a problem in Kenya, we must be that house that must stand for the rule of law. The rule of law applies to the county assembly as it does to the county executive as it does to the Senate. Procedures are important, and it is important that county assemblies, not just of Isiolo but elsewhere, follow the rules and the standing orders that they lay, that they have put in place to ensure that everything they bring and represent for their people are actually able to be executed in accordance with the procedures. I feel that the first count might have been prosecuted better through interrogation of evidence, but unfortunately, the lawyers for the county assemblies have made no attempt to actually respond to the issue as to whether there was a sitting or not. They simply said there was a sitting, but the little evidence there is shows that there was no sitting. So they have actually not properly assisted in making this decision. But in my view, the real PO is the second motion that we will go to. Mr. Speaker, as a Senate, I think we also need to address ourselves to our own procedures around the PO. We had the issue of the PO in the Kericho matter. We had the issue of a PO in the Kawera matter, the last one, but we ignored it as a Senate. So we need now to determine whether we will work on matters PO selectively or whether we should have rules. And as we have those rules, Mr. Speaker, I would want to state that matters procedures are matters that involve every senator in this House. So we should all be involved in terms of voting on matters relating that are preliminary, because that is about procedures. So to the extent that the county...
Senator Karungo.